Good night, everyone. Just tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Simon J. Space Divine. I'm here to give you a word on some news on tonight. First we're gonna talk about the government shutdown. Talk about the government shutdown. Fight over spending as threat of government shutdown. So the White House wants to stop the gap funding via pass to temporarily keep the lights on at federal agency with the possibility of a government shutdown. No idea is reached before October the 1st. So we have by the end of this month, by the end of this month, political lawmakers are worried that FEMA and other federal agencies could run out of money, by the end of this month. So the deadline is at the end of this month. Funds federal agency, including for disaster relief, as both time and research are running out in Florida over the weekend. So by over the weekend, they probably gonna be running out of money to help Florida. Florida had the little hurricane there, and Mr. President Bennett was helping them with that. But they're saying by the weekend they might run out of funds. So the President Bennett had called on lawmakers, to guarantee more funding to assist disaster response. President Bennett confident that Congress may help because he can understand he don't understand that they will not help. So that's on the government shutdown. So let's talk about Fani Willis. A Democrat had become a central political figure, tied to Donald Trump, after she launched on an investigation into alleged election, conduct by the former president and his allies. Republicans deposed her to remove Miss Willis. The only way if Miss Willis was indicted for a felony, that was the only way she can be removed. So if the Attorney General Republic, Christopher indict her for a felony, then would she be suspended and eventually removed if she was convicted. So that's the only way she'll be removed if she have any kind of felony, anything else. And they look into it, they couldn't find nothing. And that's how, has somehow you can just do your job and people still try to find something on you for no reason. So this effort to punish Miss Willis over Trump prosecution of political Georgia, Supreme Court, he dismissed the Republican call for special season to impeach DA Fani Miss Willis. Up to this point, I have not seen evidence that DA Miss Willis' action or lack thereof. So they looked into it and they couldn't find nothing on it, so they dismissed it. They dismissed the call for impeachment. They dismissed it because they couldn't find nothing on her. So warranted action by prosecuting attorney oversight commission. Now we have state reps and we all so we don't understand if the problem is she a woman, and on Trump case, or if the idea is she's a black woman on his case. So that's two options, why they want to look into or try to find something on her to pull her down. So we also had we had state representative Justin, this silence him, from speaking on gun violence. And now we see they're trying to pull Miss Willis down. So now we have Miss Willis. They want to move her off Trump case. So I request that Miss Willis, stay in power as a judge over this case. So that's on there. So let's talk about this is an update. This is an update I did yesterday. Supreme Court reform. So they need 4 Supreme Court justices, to restore the balance, to the court captured by right-wing, person interested that we must add 4 new justices, You know, there already a bill in Congress to do this. Um, and support is growing as the Supreme Court showed us time, and again, it must be reformed. You know, because the last time it was established was 2021. That was like 2 years ago. You know, so we have 9 seats right now. You know, and they want to add for more seats. You know, so they're gonna be like 13 seats in the court. You know, so fourth step to reform. So we want to reform, you know, to Supreme Court. You know, so first we're gonna restore the balance by adding 4 seats. You know, two, by creating a term, you know, limited for justice. You know, three, create a binding code justice. You know, so four, improve the access to justice and diversity by adding judges to the lower court. You know, Democrat members are signed on as a co-sponsor. You know, so Congress had introduced the two bill, you know, that will tangle the code, legacy crisis, and reform the code. You know, Supreme Court Justice selected the President Bennett to nominate someone for the vacancy of the court, and the Senate to vote to confirm the nominee, which require a simple majority. So the four they're gonna nominate for the seat. Mr. President gonna be the one to nominate and pick who was gonna be the four, you know, sit on the seat. You know, so the code explained last introduction was 2021. The new bill for 4 seats. So I requested we found the Supreme Court. The last time it was established in 2021, 2 years ago. You know, so that was an update I talked on yesterday. Um, I have another update. You know, I'll talk about update yesterday. Republic had voted Tennessee State Representative Justin Jones to be silenced. You know, Justin was silenced the rest of the season. You know, meaning he was banned from speaking on the floor. You know, about public safety, gun violence. You know, so then the Republican had ordered the state trooper to force him in the student family. You know, to clear the gutter. You know, so they stated that Justin section time in a day was out of turn. You know, so they said he spoke already. So they're saying he spoke out of turn. You know, so Justin only was speaking on the public safety protection. You know, for children in the school. You know, so you'll think they'll want to hear about the gun violence and what the children's getting killed in the school in the community, you know. But he also suggested to have police officer in the school. They turned that down, you know. They said they're gonna knock the teachers from their pay raise, you know. So the comment with no funds that it will affect the teachers' pay raise, you know. So his concern was improving the public safety. An effort sharpened by residents to any form of gun control in the legacy. You know, so he was pretty much telling them, you know, come up with a policy, you know, for the gun violence, and also come up with a way to have the children protected in the school. You know, so he came up with have the police, you know, to police in the school. You know, the police will cost, you know, a lot of money. You know, so that's why I said the security. You know, I got the same comment he got. They told me, they're going to knock the teachers' pay rates. You know, they don't have the funds for the help. But they're going to have to come up with something because the children going to need to be safe in the school. You know, with too much is going on. They might have to start selling supplements or something every Friday. You know, they're going to have to do something to have a budget for the teacher raise, because they do deserve a raise. I put that out last month. They do deserve a raise, you know, but the children also need protection in the school. You know, so innocent children are getting killed. And justice wants to know how our kids will be safe in the school. That's all he was trying to speak on. He was trying to speak on pretty much he pretty much was trying to get his point across of how the children gonna be safe in the school. The school is started back again. So that's only thing he was trying to get his point across. All the kids gonna be safe. He spoke on gun violence, but his main topic was if the kids is gonna be safe in the school. And it silenced him from speaking on the kids and speaking on the gun violence. So Justin Jones' concern was gun violence and safety of the children. So children is our first priority. Justin speaking on gun violence and the safety of the kids in the school, and he also suggested the police officer in the school, but he was ordered to be silenced. And why would order him to be silenced when he talking about the kids, how the kids gonna be safe in the school? Speaking on what is very important. you know, gun violence in our children. That's the main topic right there. People put the hand on the trigger to use the gun to kill people. If you leave the gun by itself and you don't touch it, no one will get hurt. So Tennessee law have to change. Because they saying anybody can just buy a gun. They don't have to have a permit or anything, but that have to change in Tennessee. So I'm asking Congress to place a policy together, for Tennessee, because Tennessee law have to change. Common sense law. I need a policy for common sense law. The person purchases a gun or rifle, age is 20 years old. To carry a gun, you need a permit. Because they're saying Tennessee saying they can purchase a gun and they don't need a permit. You need a permit to carry a gun. 3, enforce a criminal background check. That's the main thing. A background check for mental health, criminal charge, gun trafficking. Enforce the gun stores laws. Secure safety at home, because you had a lot of incidents with kids finding a gun. Bringing it to school and also shooting themselves at home. So these is all the procedures that's under the common sense law. So I request security guards in the school. And I also request common sense gun law. I have a policy put together for that. So we talk about government shutdown. Money had been spent, and so they say about the weekend for Father. They helping them with their disaster. Money may run out, and they say money might run out by the end of this month. So we have another scare we have to deal with. So we have a deadline at the end of this month, for disaster relief, running out money for Florida, so I don't know what they're gonna have to do something, to you might have to help out with funds for government shutdown. So we also talk about Miss Willis. They're trying to pull her down. They're trying to move her out the way. Just like they're trying to silence Justin, and now they're trying to move her out the way. We don't know, because she's a female over Trump case. They couldn't find nothing on her, so they dismissed the case that they were trying to have an impeachment with her. So everything came out okay, and she's still on the case. They dismissed with everything they tried to put on her. So we just talk about that, and I have requests that she stay on the case. She stay in power as a judge over this case. And so we also had talked about Supreme Court, the update I had talked on yesterday. I had they will request 4. They're gonna have 4 seats for the judge. To restore the balance, create a term limit for justice, and create a binding code justice, and improve the access for the lower court. So that's what they pretty much gonna do for the 4 seats that they suggested. So the court explained last introduction was 2021, and the new bill is 4-6. And I request for the refund to Supreme Court. And this another update. I talked about yesterday. This Justin. Representative Justin, who they tried to silence, and not only just silence him, but escort him out the building. So it's like they're talking about children and gun violence. It's something they don't even want to hear. So I had requests security guards in the school and request common sense law for policy to be in place. So that's all the news I have for you today. I see y'all be safe, and I see y'all on the next video.